All right. Good morning, everyone. This is Clint from Monetary Realty coming at you guys with a very helpful video. So today we're going to be looking at a particular lead source of mine. And it's not just mine. I'm sure other people use it as well. I actually found this video a few years ago on YouTube that helped me, find this lead source. Now, a few things have changed since that video. And so I've had a few people ask me about, how I find leads and stuff like that without having to pay for them. And this is my most trusted source. This is where I pull all of my lists, and so I use public data to pull the list and I do a little sorting to find, the leads that I'm looking for. So this video is going to show you how to use this website to create you something like this. Now, this is what I like to call the land list, my major land list. So when I pull leads from the county website, the CAD, I bring them into Microsoft Access, and then I sort them a little bit, and then I export that into an Excel file that I can skip trace and later contact, the owners and stuff to see if they're looking for an offer. As you can tell, I have a lot of information in here. I have the account number, the tax ID, which is the same thing. That's just my system preference. I have it one in a number and one in like a text. So, but like first name, all the name, the property information, I primarily focus with lots. So you see land square footage and acres and stuff. But if I needed to, we can add an area for bed, bath, and all the other good stuff, and so you're going to use this information that I'm going to show you to build your own list, pull your own leads from the county. Now, every county website is different, but you can kind of follow this video along for a lot of them. And if it's anything a little different, you can send me the county and I can maybe take a look at it, see how you would import that. And, we can work it out from there. So the goal is to show you how to go from this website, which if you're familiar with the CAD, whenever you're using the CAD, you pull up properties one at a time like this. Now it has all the information you need, but you have to pull it up one at a time. Then you got to copy and paste. It's just a lot to build in Excel. The Excels that I was just showing, one of them, we're in 2,000-3,000 range and stuff like that. So it's very time consuming to do that by hand. So we take the public data from this website and we manipulate it a little bit to be able to pull the leads we're looking for, so it doesn't take all doggone day. Now, it is a few things you're going to need to really make this work. Let's see, of course, internet access. You're going to need this website, which is the HCAD. I'll make sure to include all of the websites you needed in the description of this unlisted video. And so you're going to need that. Now, you're going to need some Microsoft products. You're going to need Microsoft Excel, and you're going to need Microsoft Access. Now, Access typically comes along in the same package for Excel. So if you have Excel, you more than likely have Access as well. I'm going to give you a brief tutorial on what you need to do to use it. I can't say this tutorial will make you proficient in Access, but what it will do is show you how to accomplish your task of finding leads, off-market leads, just a good lead source, whatever. Because here's the thing. The county has all of the records, all of them, the records that's selling, the records that's not selling. It's up to us to go ahead and kind of sort that out, narrow it down so we find what we're looking for. And that's what I intend to show. All right. So here we are at the front page of the CAD. We're going to go over to online services to public data. We're going to click on public data. And now you see where it says download property data. That's what we're going to get. Now they have GIS data, which is kind of like this and maps and stuff, but it goes for a different database that even if I made a video, I wouldn't fully explain it, but it is something that I work with as well. So we're going to download the property data. So we're going to download that property data. It's going to take us over here. We'll ask us what year we're looking for, Now you see all of these files that they have. I'm sure all of this stuff could be used and stuff like that. Code descriptions is cool, and we'll get to that in a bit. But what we need is the real property data. I'm going to click that. It's going to download. Now, mind you, this is a huge file. I want to go ahead and let you know this is a huge file, and that is the reason why you want to bring it into Access. See, the thing is, we all know we're a little bit more familiar with Excel, and Excel is for numbers. It's for adding, subtracting formulas. Access is a little different. It's for databases. So the way I like to remember it is Excel is for numbers, Access is for data. And with that in mind, you're going to see why it makes sense to use Access. So we're going to open this folder. I'm going to copy this because I want to bring it into a new area. Paste that. Now we're going to extract this all here. So you want to open up the extracted folder that you have. You should be able to extract it. If your computer doesn't have an extractor, there's one called 7-zip, the number 7 with the word zip. It's free and it's awesome. All right, so it has unzipped and we see that it is a lot of text files. And so the text file that we're particularly looking for is the real account. You see, and you know it because it's the heaviest one. It has data on every property in Harris County, which last time I checked was 1.6 million. That's new, old, every property that's listed in Harris County. That's what it has. Now, here is a blank access. And what we're going to do is we're going to turn it into this. A full property database. As you can tell, that's what I call mine. The CAD1 database. Last time I pulled this was January. So the fact that I'm pulling it for this video, I'm going to use the new one that we pulled. So if you follow this process, you'll be using the exact one that I'm using. And if you have any trouble with this process, you know, I'm not opposed to sending over the access for a charge, you know, but if I just send you the access and you don't know how to use it, you're just wasting your money. You know what I'm saying? And so I want you to take a look at this video and understand the process and see how it's been used and go ahead and give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Give it a shot for the free 99. And if it worked for you, you know, that's what I'm talking about. You know, this information was passed on to me, so I'm just doing my duty and passing it on to the next, you know. So, you know, hopefully this video helps you. And if not, you know, we can talk about other options as well. You know, so this is my access. And this is all the data. And you see it's a little over, Jesus, over 15 million, you know. Oh, actually, 1.5 million. I'm sorry. It's 1.5 million right now. And this right here, it took that list of 1.5 million and took it to 38,000. And this is every lot in the zip codes my buyers are looking for. And so I'll take this list of 38,000 and scrub it down. And so that Excel that has 1,800 and 2,000, those are the ones that I sorted down and work with. So I'm going to show you how to make an access like this from a blank one like this. So let me close this so we can go ahead and show you how to even go ahead and get that. So we're going to open up our access. We're going to go to a blank database. I'm going to create that blank database. Let me move my notes out the way. We'll get to those shortly. All right. We're actually going to, let's see, external data. Yeah, external data right here. And it's going to be a new data source. When I click in here, it's going to ask me from file. And you see from text file, and that's actually where we're headed to. So I'm going to go ahead and click text file. I'm going to browse to the area that I saved that data that we got from the CAD. I'm going to go there. And we want real account. We're going to take real account. We're going to import the data source into a new table. We're going to hit OK. Here we go. All right, so this is delimited, you know, which just means, let's see, you want to click delimited. I was going to get ready to explain it. We're going to click delimited. Going to go next. Now, right here, first row contains field names. You definitely need to click that. So you click that, and now, so that's our account, year, and mail too. We have it sorted by tab, so you want to leave that the same. You just want to do the first row contains field names. Now there's something else that I do. This is a little extra, but I like doing it because it preserves my account numbers. Excel gets rid of these leading zeros, and I don't like that because I use those in my system to quickly find property information. Because with lots, a lot of lots don't have property addresses, so I need the account number. So I want to click the account. Actually, we're going to hit next first. There we go. So now I'm going to go ahead and change this into a long text. You know what I'm saying? So let's see. Was there anything else I like to change to long text? Because I hate when they break that up for me. I like that. It's just a lot of data in there. For this example, I think the only thing we need to change is for account number. If it comes out funny, I'll make a note of it. You know what I'm saying? So the account number is the only one I want to make sure I click right here and make that long text. Then I'm going to hit next. And it says let access add a primary key. You know what I'm saying? There's no problem with this. I just don't do it a lot of times, but there's no problem with that. You know, but I'm going to do no primary key. I'm going to hit next. We'll leave it as the name. Then we're going to hit finish. Then we're going to give it a second. All right, it looks like it's finished. All right, I have some import areas. They gave us some issues, and I always like to click those to see what they were talking about. You know what I'm saying? And this is one of those areas that I could have converted to a long text just to avoid this. This is land area square feet. You know what I'm saying? For the example purposes, I'm not going to necessarily worry about them too much because it's only a few of them. And if I need to, I don't mind manually plugging that in. But, you know, if you want to be a perfectionist, you can go back and find that land area one and hook it up. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? But this is the data that we just imported, the real account. We're going to close this table, close the errors. And if you can tell, this looks just like my other one. Real account. You see, I got the account, year. See, all the good stuff. Now I end up changing this one to owner name, but we'll get into that shortly. And I'll show you how to do that if need be. But I usually just break them down for you. Let me close this. So now we have 1.52. So it's a few more properties that's been added in there since we last did this a few months ago. And so we have all of the CAD information that's on that website that you got to get one by one. We have it all inside of Access now, and that is awesome. I recommend that you go ahead and save. Save as often as possible. All right, it's open. Hit enable content if you have to. Sometimes it does that because it's just a lot of data. And like I said, if I click this, this shows all the information that I'm looking for, which is freaking awesome. But now we're going to get into the really live part about this is using the queries. And let me tell you, let me explain why I use the queries so you see why it's important to just, you know, focus on this part. Okay, so the queries are what I use to find different subsets of data. Okay, so let me give you an example. On this list, land list, this is, let me go over to the design view. This has, I listed every zip that I was looking for, and I listed state class. State class is very important because that's the type of property that it is. And I'll make sure to put a link to this as well. But here is how the state classes look. So houses will be A1, A2. You know what I'm saying? A2 is actually for mobile homes. So A1 is for single families. The B's are usually for multifamilies, and the C's are for land, and everything else kind of goes off. I'm only looking for C's. So C1, C2, C3. So C1, C2, C3. You know what I'm saying? So this is going to take that whole data of 1.52 million, and it's only going to pull the properties that have the zip codes I'm looking for and the state class I'm looking for. And you can see how that's starting to bring down. Now, mind you, that's how I find sellers. I also use this to find buyers. And the way I use this to find buyers is simple. I go ahead and, okay, which area am I looking for buyers in? I put that zip code in, whatever lot I have. And one of the things I like to do, I like to actually hook up the new owner date on here. You know, I'd hook up the new owner date on here to show me, you know, everybody who's purchased properties in the last 3 years. You know, and then from there, I only want the people who purchased more than one lot in the last 3 years. That lets me know I have someone who in the last 3 years has purchased multiple lots in the area that I have a lot for sale. more than likely going to get me a buyer. And it works. I use that and Facebook Marketplace all the time to sell my deals. So this helps you find sellers and buyers. And this is why this is my go-to. I drive for dollars. I virtual drive for dollars. I pay for one lead source called Real Estate IQ, which is just, you can go to the county for delinquent tax sales. I'm just not a fan of the process. And then you have to pay for it sometimes too, So I rather just pay Real Estate IQ who do all that work for me, then I just go get it. And I combine that information with this information, and that's how I really narrow down my leads. So I'm going to show you how to make these queries, because these queries are so live. So we're going to go up to create, and we're going to come over here to query design. All right, we're cooking with grease now. Over to the right, you're going to click real account, because that's the information that we're going to be pulling from. I'll close this. Now, like I said, I didn't rename some of these categories because I know what they stand for. And if you want to rename them, there's no problem rename them. Just come over here. You got to give it a second sometimes because there's a lot of data. It's easier to change these names when you're importing, but I want to just show you guys that you should be able to, like, you see mine is going through the ringer because I got probably 2 of these files open and it's asking me what the hell I got going on. But see right here, see how I did that? And I'm going to rename field. So if I wanted to, I would rename this field what it is. And it's mail to is the owner name. So you can rename that to owner name. And that's what I'll do right now, just for an example. There we go. So yeah, change it to owner name so you'll know. You can go through those if you want. It's not necessary, but you can if you need to. All right, so I'm gonna save that again, and we're gonna go back to this query. So this query is basically running like a search. Imagine that if you are on a library website and you are looking for, they got all these books on the website, but you're looking for books from this particular author. And so you go to their search website, put in the author you're looking for, and you hit search, and then it comes back a list of everything you're looking for. So this query is how we manually build that search for what we're looking for. So let's see how we're going to do this. Matter of fact, we're going to save. I'm actually going to close that. I'm only exiting because sometimes when you rename files and stuff, they don't actually show up the name you want until you reopen it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just doing that for shits and giggles. All right, so we're going to go back to this query. We're going to go to create, query design, and it's going to give us this little area right here. We're going to click real account over here, and we're going to close this here. I recommend stretching out this here so you'll be able to kind of see everything that it has in, because we're going to select the ones that we want down here. So there are a couple things. Now, mind you, I have all of these in my notes of all the ones that you want. And I'm actually going to copy and paste this probably in the video as well, just showing you be able to, create this on your own. All right, so let's see. We want owner name. And once you click it, it comes down here. And this is the criteria that's going to come out on our Excel, because we don't want all that data from real account. It's overload of data. I mean, go take a look at it and you'll see how long you can scroll of all the data it is. And we don't need all that. We really don't. We only need a few select areas. So we're going to get owner name. We're going to get site address. Now, site address, AKA property address. And so you want site address 1, 2, and 3. And that is property address, property city, and property zip. So we're going to go ahead and get those in real quick. You got to scroll down, site 1. And see, that's something else too. I'm putting them in the order that I need, because the HCAD gives you the mailing address first. And I need that, but I don't need that first. So I'm going to add everything that I do need in the order that I need, and then we'll be able to go from there. So we got site address 1, site address 2, site address 3. Then I'm going to go to state class. Then I'm going to scroll back up. I want mailing address 1. Let's see, mailing address 1. I don't want 2, which is odd because it's like a unit number, but you don't want 2. You want mail city, mail state, mail zip. You want account number, new owner date. Oh, new owner date is so just underrated. It's that you got to scroll all the way down there to the bottom to find new owner date. This new owner date is so important because new owner date lets you know when someone has purchased that property. So if I'm looking for a seller lead, I'm looking from something with a new owner date between 1988 and 2011. You know, I want something that they've had for a while and they probably no longer want. But if I'm looking for buyers, the new owner date I want within the last 3 years because I want active people in the market. You know, so that's really important, new owner date. Now, for me, it's going to be land area, just like over here. Access land value. We don't want that. I want land area. Land area right there. I just moved it over, so I have it. All right. So next up after land area is acreage. And where's acreage? Acreage is right there. And this last field is actually one that we make. And I'll tell you a reason for that. Now, you might actually, let's see. Now, if you were doing like, houses and stuff like that, you're actually going to take a few more things as well. You know what I'm saying? You'll take something like, let me see, what else would you take on this list? You would want building area because that lets you know the building square feet. So you would want building area on that. You know what I'm saying? You would want building area on that. You wouldn't need building value and land values because honestly, those are just assessments and they never work off of what we're looking for anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I'd recommend that what you would add on to this, because I do just land, you'd add on building, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm going to be using this, I'm not adding on building, you know what I'm saying? But building area, this BLD_AR, that's the one for building area, aka square feet, if you're using for different houses as well. Now, let's go back to this last one that we need to do. So this is an absentee formula. And it basically states that if the mailing address is not the same as the site address, aka property address, let me know. So if it says true, that means that the mailing address and the property address are the same and it's not a vacant property. More than likely, you know what I'm saying? And I say that, well, it's not an absentee property. Let's not say vacant because they can have it rented out, but if it says false, that means that the owner does not live at the property. And honestly, a lot of times that means that they're more likely to sell depending on what other factors they have. And so what we're going to do for this, we're actually going to copy and paste this whole thing. We're going to take this copy and paste. We're going to go copy. I'm going to come over here and place it right on in. And then on real account, you know what I'm saying? I'm just going to do real account. There we go. So this is my query. And I'm going to save this query. And right now it's just a base query. It doesn't really have a name for it, but I'm going to call this query. We're going to call this an example real quick. You know what I'm saying? Because I like to make a base one and then I copy and paste for everything I need. You know what I'm saying? So we'll call this example. Let's see. I'd say it's a comment in my real account that's giving me issues. Okay, and okay, now that we have set up the structure for our query, we're actually going to run a query and we're going to name it something. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come over here on this example and I'm going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. And I'm going to call this 77028 sellers. And I'm going to hit OK. All right, so I'm going to right click and hit design view. So it comes to this right here. And we have everything in place that we're looking for. Now, mind you, so site address 3, this is zip code. Now we're looking for a particular zip code. You can put in multiple in here, and if you did want to put in multiple in here, you would have to just separate them, and I'll show you how to do that. But I'm looking for 77028. So I'm going to type in 77028. So I'm going to type in 77028. Over here, I'm going to put A1 because I'm only looking for houses right now. So I'm going to put A1. Now, I see this is already filled out, but I'm going to delete this and show you how we're going to use this. Not sorted. Sorted. There we go. So the new owner date is going to be important because, like I said, the new owner date is you're going to want to get people who they haven't recently bought the house. They're not looking, more than likely, they're not looking to sell if they just got the house. So I'm going to be pulling everyone from January 2nd, 1955 to January 1st, 2013. And I just picked those dates. I picked a very old date and I picked a date I wouldn't mind. And earlier, I think I said 2011, but it varies. You know what I'm saying? I went up to 2017 and found sellers. I like to say between this area is my golden area. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to hit copy on this here, on this between and the new owner date. We're going to go down to the criteria. We're going to type that in. We're going to copy and paste that in. And so it's between those dates. And also I want it in the let's see, I want it in the ascending. You know what I'm saying? That way it goes 55 and it goes all the way up, whatever. And so we have 77028. We have state class of A1, and then we have the new owner date. And so this is going to, of that 1.52 million property list in Harris County, this is only going to pull the houses in 77028 that have been owned since 1955 and 2013 by the same owner. So that's what we're looking for. Also, I have the absentee part here on. And this is good because it's going to let us know which one of these is absentee. So now that I've ran that, I'm actually going to click into a blank space like I did. You see up here where it says query design, we're going to hit run. And when we hit run, it's going to take a little second to run that query. And so you remember that 1.52 million property list? That has been broken down to 3,275 potential properties. All of them are in 77028. All of them have been owned for a very long time. And, you know, and then also I can see, you know, which one. See, like this one, the site address and the mailing address is the same. So this is false as far as an absentee. This is not an absentee. But you see where it says true on an absentee is because the property address is not the same as the mailing address. So you can actually sort this to only show, you know, false or true if you only wanted absentees, you know. And so now we have this list of 3,275 possible sellers in 77028. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to save because I always recommend saving. And then what we're going to do is come down to this query and we're going to right click it and we're going to hit export into Excel. I'm going to hit Excel. You can leave all that the same. You might want to spot wherever you're going to be saving it to. You know, me, I'm going to be saving it to the same area that I've been doing everything else. So I'm going to save that. All that's the same. I'm going to hit OK. It's going to take a little second. And then it's done. And now when I go over to this HCAD video, when I open up the 77028 sellers, there we go. So now it has been opened, 77028 sellers. And if I scroll down, you'll see that it is 3,200 leads. I'm going to make the first row bold because I always like to see that, you know what I'm saying? So you got owner name, site address. And see, this is where you would do all your renaming of stuff. This is where I like to do my renaming because it's not that much data. It's easier. Your system's not going to get hung up. And also remember when I made the account long text, see now it has this blue thing on it, which makes my numbers a text. And it makes sure that Excel keeps this 0 right here. This is called a leading 0, and it's an issue with access. So you need to make sure you do that. We have the new owner dates. I have the land area, acreage, and absentee. You know, and so these are all the houses, you know what I'm saying, in 77028 that fit the criteria what I'm looking for. And then from here, you know, I can tell you right now, you would rename this. And you might have to do some additional scrubs. Like for me, I mean, you can skip trace this whole thing and just hit them. You know what I'm saying? But I like to sort this list out a little bit. And I say sort this out a little bit because you're going to find that some people own multiple properties in this area. And you don't want to skip trace them multiple times. You know what I'm saying? And so one thing I like to do is I like to remove duplicates from the mailing address. You know what I'm saying? I only want one mailing address per, because it's more than likely going to be that one person. Every now and then you might have a situation where somebody pops up though, they had like multiple mailing addresses, but you believe it or not, is really rare. But if you wanted to, you can go over to, you click F for mailing address, go to data, and we're going to remove duplicates. We're going to expand the search. I like to unselect everything because we don't want to we don't want to move duplicates from everything. We only want to move it from the mailing address. And so that list from 3,200, we're going to hit OK. And now it's 3,000. So we took that list from 1.52 million properties to a little over 3,000 properties that we can go ahead and skip trace and start reaching out to our potential clients to see if they're selling. You know, now that's how I did it for sellers. If I was doing it for buyers, the only thing that I would do, you know, is I would, once again, I'd probably make a duplicate. Let's say I wanted sellers in the same area. I'd make a duplicate for this, copy, we'll do paste, and then I'll call this 77028 buyers. I'm going to hit OK. Then I'm going into the design view so I can see all this here. And this time I'm going to come over here and I'm going to change these dates a little bit. So I'm going to change this to 2018 to 22. And I'm going to click away and I'm going to ask them to run this query, this search. And now it has taken that 1.52 million properties and it's given us it gave us 1.3, gave us 1,300 properties that are owned by people who bought, you know, houses in the last year or so. Now, from this, I like to export this. You know what I'm saying? Let me just do it. We're going to go ahead and once again, always save. And we're going to go ahead and export this list. Make sure it's in the right place. It is. Now I want to open up buyers. Now, this is where it gets a little interesting. I'll go ahead and bold this so we know where it's at. You can use mailing address or owner name for this. Both of them have their little issues because sometimes you have people with the same name, you know what I'm saying? And so that can throw you off a little bit. But when owner name is together like this, it's best to do it now. Now, a lot of times when you skip trace, they ask for first and last name. So you'd have to separate this in the first and last name, but we're not at that stage. So what I want to do here is I want to go ahead and do conditional formatting. So I want duplicates because I want everybody who's on this list, and because this is a list of people who bought properties in the last 3 years. So I want everybody who did it twice. So I'm going to click duplicate value. It says duplicate, highlight with red field, dark text. We're going to hit OK. You know, you don't see anything right here, but if you scroll down, you start seeing a few reds here and there. So what we're going to do now is we're going to click this right here. And I want to freeze this so I can always see it because I don't like when I scroll down and I don't see it. So I'm going to click right here on this one right here to get that whole row. Going to go to view, freeze panes. I'm going to freeze this top row. That's important. So when I sort this and stuff, I always see this top row, which is awesome. So now I'm going to come over here and click A. And we're going to do a sort. We're going to do a custom sort. Expand the selection. We want to sort by owner name. We want to sort by sale color. And everything that has that red, we want on top because those are everybody who bought more than one home in the last 3 years in 77028 zip code. Going to hit OK. And now all of these people are the buyers that you're looking for. You know, it says 245, but we know it's actually not 245 because some of these guys are duplicates. So now what I like to do is I like to go ahead and just copy all of this. Come over here, click this little guy right here, and it'll allow you to paste. And so now we've separated those 275. And now I'm going to do what I did for removing those duplicates. We're going to remove duplicates, expand the selection, unselect all, big step, click owner name, hit OK. It removed 187 duplicates and we only have 57 values remaining. So these 57 buyers are the buyers who I would want to skip trace, text, email, and possibly even call, or even find them online to reach out to who their salesperson is and find out if they want to buy this property. And why? Because they bought multiple houses in 77028 and they may want to buy the new house I have on there. So it just shows you how to find buyers and sellers for free using your county website. You're going to need Excel, you're going to need Access, and then you're going to need a few of these notes that I'll have in the video. So take a look at it, run through it, give it a shot. While I'm not available to run these queries every time you might need them, this video should help you showing how to do it yourself. And if that's too much, let me know. And the worst thing I can do is I can go ahead and prep up one of these Access files and sell it to you. So just let me know if you have any questions. I hope this video is helpful to you guys. I know whether you're getting started or you've been in it for a while, lead sources are so important, and everyone's trying to charge you for a good lead source. And a lot of times it's the same list that's recirculating everywhere online. This goes to the source, the county. So I pull my properties right from the county, and then I scrub them down to meet my needs or the needs of my buyers. And then after that, I reach out to them. And as you can tell, once I rename all of these and all this good stuff, you'll come over here and you'll see the land list. I'm not sure why I opened up Photoshop there. Let me close that. Yeah, I said let's close that. So in my land list, you'll see these are the lists that I pulled from using the CAD that meets the criteria I was looking for. And then when I skip trace them, I place them over here so I know what I've already skip traced and everything. And all this is inside my system, but this is how it looks raw. This is my main list or whatever, And then also sometimes when I'm scrubbing them, I scrub them by all the little criteria that come up, LLCs, estates, and et cetera, et cetera. But you basically just witnessed how I would build a list like this. And I can tell you from this list here, I've closed 13 properties this year. So from these lists, I've closed 13 properties. I have 4 on contract right now and 2 in closing, so I can't tell you what works for everybody, but this works for me, and so hopefully it can help you, especially it's so cost effective. It's free. You just take some time, so good luck on your journey and let me know if this helped you. Hope y'all didn't hear me have to kill that mosquito. He was trying to come for you, boy. Good luck and happy hunting.